What's up and good morning, guys? Welcome back to another video.
Zach, what are you doing? You're building a lift kit? Dang.
3.5.
All right, y'all. This is officially gonna be the first video of the start of the build on the old FA mini truck here. I'm excited about this. I've been doing a lot of research on this truck and I found out that there ain't a whole lot of information about these trucks. So the problem with going anything overseas is you're already like squeezing down the market for stuff you're gonna be able to find. Then when you get the Chinese knockoff of the Japanese version, it becomes even harder. So we figured out our speed issue on this thing. It's got a governor that kicks off at 40 miles an hour or kilometers an hour or whatever the heck is it miles an hour or kilometers? Yeah. So 40 kilometers an hour is the governor kicking in on this thing. And the only way that I've seen to get rid of that is you need basically a new ECM. And trying to track a FA mini truck ECM that's governed higher is next to impossible. So we're gonna try and disable the speed sensor at some point and see if that like doesn't tell it how fast we're going, so it doesn't limit us, but we're not really sure. Next, we're gonna tackle the bed because obviously the bed here has been pretty well rusted through. So we're talking about doing wood. I'm thinking like some 1x6 decking on here. Hopefully it holds up well. Being out in the weather, I'm not really sure. We were just gonna screw from the bottom because if you look at the bottom of this thing, you know, it's built like a truck bed. So we were gonna screw into these cross braces across the bed here up from underneath. But being a 1x material, you're literally only gonna be able to screw in a 1/2 inch. And if the sun and the weather and everything starts to warp that board, it's just gonna rip the screws out. So we might end up carriage bolting through it. We don't wanna go 2x material because I don't wanna come up too much higher off the bottom of the bed here. And we're gonna have to hold back just a little bit because all sides here drop down. Then next we're gonna tackle the headache rack that it's got there. Ain't nothing wrong with the one that it has, but I kind of want something cool that goes over the cab to make like a basket over here. We can attach lights to it, carry a spare tire or whatever ends up happening. Instead of trying to add on to theirs, because theirs is just like a C-channel material here, it's not a square tubing. We're gonna end up either cutting it up there and then sleeving it and making a new piece going up. We haven't really figured that part out yet. Then on top of that, obviously we want to lift this thing, and well, they don't really make aftermarket lift kits for a FA mini truck. So that's where our suspension specialist, Zach, what do we figure out, buddy?
We're gonna have to buy some stuffs.
Okay, we gotta buy some stuffs? All right, so we're gonna try and lift this thing. The rear, we're just gonna flip the shackles, right?
Yeah, so hopefully it doesn't go like 6 inches like a Jeep does, because the front's gonna get a little wonky.
All right.
Just on how it's built. So it's built, these are built like a golf cart really. It's got a main trailing arm on the bottom with a strut, and then it's got a front kick bar that kind of centers the wheels. So we either drop everything down and it gets kind of weird, or what I'm thinking is get a little custom and a little bendy and extendy, and
I like the bendy and
pushing it
extendy
out, because I know you want to probably run like some super wide wheels.
Yeah. 14 wide.
The problem is like you go any bigger, we start cutting into the door. You know, my bumper trim skills, when you don't have a bumper, a little hard.
Yeah, we don't want to.
So we got to go up high enough to go out that when that wheel turns, we hopefully miss that.
All right.
Which I'm thinking, flipping that and matching the front, we should be way up there. The door, I'd say probably right here-ish.
I like it. So you're saying boggers, 40s?
Yes.
Okay.
Super swampy.
Super swampers.
All right, 2x2.
Probably looks so big.
Or we could do 2x3.
Yeah, I think 2x3 is a little obnoxious.
Is it?
Yeah.
Or we could do it this way.
I just don't want to add a ton of weight to the bed. In true Chinese fashion here, this bed is longer than 8 foot by just enough to make it to where we can't buy 8 foot lengths of board here, unfortunately. And we all know wood is very expensive right now. I don't want to like have to cut off any extra. I was hoping we could get away with just buy a bunch of 8 footers, slap some wood down in the bed and be good to go. Let's remove these mats here and see. I mean, the bed's not actually horrible. Probably should have done that outside.
Something dead right there. Oh no, that's just tape towel.
Look, I can't even put my finger through it though. Well, maybe right there, but. Oh, we got the magnet.
8'4".
Or if we just ran an 8 foot.
It would stop right there.
But we cut the bed out right here. And we leave this little edge right here as metal.
You can do that.
All right, maybe we just run 8 foot all the way. And then on the end here, we put a sideways piece. 4 foot. 6.5. All right, so we just calculated out. We're gonna need 10 1x6x8. So that's what 2x decking would be height wise. Obviously, we don't have a 2x4 in here right now or anything, but I don't hate it. Should we just go 2x?
It'll last a lot longer.
It'll last longer. I mean, we're gonna be using this as a dump bed, so it's gonna get stuff rubbed up against it all day long. You know, I'm thinking about starting a dump truck business. Been watching James's videos. I think I got it down. So I got my first dump truck here. We'll see how much money this one will make me until I can buy a nice Peterbilt.
We can put a Peterbilt sticker on it. We'll call it Cheaterbilt.
Cheaterbilt?
You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to like double that up to make it a giant basket where now it's super heavy, what if we just keep like that is the depth of our basket? We'll do some 1 by or some 1/2 inch even on the inside with the expanded metal on top.
And then, by the way, we are not coming out that far. No. I don't want to be able to see this. I don't know how anybody drives with the big lumber racks that like come over top and you can see it out the front of your windshield. That is not for me. So we're gonna keep it held back just a little bit here. We're not gonna go too thick of a basket because again, this thing still does need to be a dump bed and actually handle some weight, and not all the weight that we add to it with this big steel freaking cab over headache rack that we're building. So we've pretty much got our list compiled here. It's gonna take, I don't know, what do we figure about 20-ish feet of 2x2. Oh, hold on. Zach's onto something over here.
This isn't gonna be strong enough.
It's not strong enough? How much weight are we putting up there?
Well, you said you want to sit in it, so.
Can we put like one captain's chair up there?
Yeah.
Listen, this thing's already got so many curves on it.
Or should we go?
We can totally cut these miters into it.
Yeah.
Cut that.
I was just gonna miter it and then go fill my bottle and we can torch it.
Use your step, Zach. You're the only person that doesn't collapse that step. I mean, there's kind of a weld on there. They welded these horns fully. Maybe, or just filled it with
I think
paint.
somebody put these on.
Gotcha. I mean, you can see they did an awesome paintbrush paint job going down the side of this thing. Hold on, Zach, stay there.
We'll have to fix that.
We've never tried to dump this with any weight in the bed. If Zach,
It's hitting the cap.
oh,
What? Where's it hitting? This piece is hitting?
Yeah.
Oh. Why? Oh.
Because you did, it's unlatched, I think.
Oh.
It definitely hits right there. You can see it.
Huh.
we should have probably, I'm glad we're testing this right now.
Alright. Oh yeah, I forgot all that stuff's gonna pour.
I'm scared.
Anyways, what I wanted to show you guys is this
Awesome paint job they did where they're like, I mean, even though the bed lifts up, let's just stop where we can reach next to the cab here and then we'll just get about that far. Just about that far, we're good. Let's redesign this. This should be straight. So we're gonna get rid of this little weird over detailed detail there. Cause yeah, we do not want to hit the cab. I mean, we could honestly like undo this substructure and like scooch it back.
Yeah, we could rebuild the whole freaking bed.
Yeah, looks secure.
Well, you know, if these beds had anywhere to tie anything down at.
Yeah.
forward to go back in time. I got the cart, buddy. Yeah.
Man, I could have just probably like.
We don't get chains on here, I'm gonna lose it. All right.
Really? You're gonna lose. It's got 4 wheels.
There you go.
Want me to drive?
Yeah, you drive. So we're here at the homies, West Air. Oh, this thing. This is the only time I'll let you drive. If I was that bottle though, I'd be driving. Zach, which one do we need? Oh, you want the big? Are these gas or diesel? Oh, these are gas. All right, so we've got our one bottle there. We've got our mixed bottle in the back seat there. We're gonna go get us some metal now. Hopefully, maybe. Zach, got the list? Yeah. All right, we got the list. That's completely wrong because we've changed like 10 things since we made that list, but we got the list. Dude, this is a trip. This place used to be packed full. If you guys watch my old videos, I've been here a time or two. This place is just empty right now of steel. They've got one stick of everything. If you need one stick, you're good. Think they're hiding it all in the back? What are we doing with that? Is it? Zach, I got the bottom of our basket though. I think this is all we're gonna be getting today. Well, that was a strikeout. So it's pretty bad when one store has to send us to another store down the street.
Turn left onto West.
So hopefully, stop number 2 here, we can find the steel stock that we're looking for. I mean, we buying some steel from this guy's house. It says on 14, so I guess we gotta turn. Oh, we found it. So, you know, we gotta go to the guy's garage in the back of his house there.
He ain't gonna sell us nothing.
Dude, he's got, I see
He
some,
got it.
I see
He
it back
got
there.
it.
I see it back there. I mean, the flag says welcome, Zach. I feel welcomed.
Oh, we need 28 feet of 2x2.
20. Oh, jeez.
What is it, 1/8 inch?
That's some high security over here. Oh, we got, hold on, we need some gate controls for the ranch. Oh, we got some, we can work out while we're here. Sitting on $1 million worth of just weights. If you were 1/8 inch, what color would you be? Orange? Oh, these are, what are these, 20 footers? Goes way back there. It's even USA made. All right, so we've called an audible here. We're gonna go away from the 2x2. We're gonna go to the 1.5 inch, which is what everything's made out of on there already. We're gonna keep some of it with the 1/8 inch thick, and then we're gonna scale it down a little bit for some of the rest of it, just so we're not overbuilding it. Dude, we should totally make this look like a landscape cart and use the ornamental iron on it like everybody uses that they just have lying around their yard or something.
1-in-1?
1-in-1, yeah. This place is a lot bigger than it looks. Cool, so mission was a success. We've got our steel back there. This place will only sell you 20-foot sticks though, so I think we got enough. Well, we actually, oh geez, we actually had too much, but I didn't want to buy the expanded metal that we're gonna use for our basket right now because they're not gonna sell me less than a 4x8 sheet, and we don't need that much, so that might be like a Home Depot. We're probably gonna end up paying the same price for 4x8 sheet for like a 3x3 sheet or whatever, but it's a good start. It's a good start.
That trick.
One stick.
Clean it while you grab it.
Let's see if we can open this with the bottle falling out. All right, perfect. Now before we get started cutting things apart, let's go drive the old mini truck outside and dump all this fire starter material here out of the bed. Beep, 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 beep. Just dump these leaves out right here.
Next to all their leaf friends.
And now we got a clean bed here.
Well guys, we found a little flaw in the tailgate design here. Just holds everything you dump. I guess we could slide the tailgate all the way off. That's probably why they took out this little middle hinge there, but.
One thing I didn't show you guys is,
Check out that work for it license plate going on there.
Man.
Well, we gotta sweep the floor anyways, actually.
I hate that I forgot who sent that to me, but whoever sent that to me, thank you. We found the perfect use for it. We're either gonna get pulled over quicker for having a fake license plate than having no license plate, but it's worth the risk because that thing looks rad on here. All right, shop is cleanish. Truck bed is cleanish. I think we're ready to start tearing into this thing.
Are we gonna mimic these gussets? Or are we gonna reuse these gussets? We just make our own out of the 1.5 stock. They'd look cooler than this. Ooh, they could be tie-down points.
Oh, we get excited over tie-down points around here.
No, she likes to hide leaves.
Yeah, for everybody out there that stores a car, please don't park it under trees.
Yeah.
That's like the worst thing you can do for anything that sits. Trees are bad. They don't let sunlight get to them. You start rusting. They drop leaves and crap everywhere. Just don't.
So we obviously haven't gotten our wood decking yet. I figured like one blow at the metal supply place was enough for today.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Yeah, so
We're gonna build the headache rack first because our decking's gonna go up to that anyway. Zach, look, they gave us a nice access panel right here.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is for the non-dump bed model.
So kind of what we're thinking, we got the 2 different gauges of 1.5 inch square stock is we're gonna use the 1/8 inch for basically all the outer perimeter stuff. And then for all like the little stuff like this that doesn't really need to be structurally a whole lot of anything, we're gonna use the thinner wall stuff again. We don't wanna add too much weight to this because we wanna be able to retain the dump capacity, hopefully. And we're also gonna fix this issue of it hitting the cap because that severely takes away your dump capacity. All right. Well, shoot, you can almost cut this whole thing out and run our new stuff across the bottom.
Thinking with this?
Yeah, safety first.
Because it doesn't do anything.
It's just there for looks. Oh, there you go. Now back down. Here, I'll get crushed underneath. You go down. All right. I feel safe now. Run a straight line across there, lop that off. I like the Hawaiian shirt there, Zach. Very festive.
My Aloha Friday.
We should probably move the 108 octane.
Going up, Zach. Going down, Zach.
Oh, look at that. Right size the first time.
I mean, it's got to be either a 10 or an 8.
Well, it's an 8 plus paint.
So it's a 10.
All right.
So like we had mentioned earlier, we're taking out that weird little like recessed portion of the bed. We're just gonna go straight across the top part of the bed. It'll end up giving us a lot more clearance to the cab, and we won't have that frame rubbing issue. We think the whole bed sub-assembly was kind of like welded on, just a hair crooked. We cut most of the way through the top. We're gonna raise her up here. Oh no, Zach, your impact.
Hold on, let me put the safety in place. Okay. Do you feel safer yet?
No.
How about there?
Not even like a little bit.
I'm doing all I can, Zach.
Yeah, I'm down. Just cut it, it's gonna fall that way. Yeah. See what happens. It's almost there, Zach.
Whoa! One headache wreck. Done.
Kind of looks cool, no headache rack. All right, now the fun part of making it so we can put it back together.
So all the old crap that was in the way is now cut off.
We're gonna make our first cross piece that's gonna go just inside of there, span the whole distance, and then from there, everything's gonna get built off all brand new, all the way up over top.
Still haven't really figured out how we're gonna do our basket because it's not gonna be like a 4-inch basket where it's got a top bar and a lower bar, but we'll see when we get up there now that we've shrunk everything down from 2-inch to 1.5 inches.
Zach's over here rock climbing.
Pretty good.
All right. Oh.
Psych, it's just the way the camera's tilted. I'm really standing flat.
There we go. Zach's standing flat over here. Oh, hold on, slippery flat.
The vibration.
All right, so we've kind of set our first piece in there. We're gonna see how square it is to the cab. It's actually kind of perfect. Got our new bottle from West Air. Zach's getting the old Harbor Freight welder here switched over from Flux Core. I already spotted my favorite person. And by person, I mean dog. What's up, Dixie? Dude, you are huge. What's up, girl? Hi. Hello. Jeez, you've grown so much. You've grown so much. Hello. Is it blowing through the Chinese steel?
No.
No?
Gotta still figure it out.
Oh, okay.
We're currently taking bets right now on how long until
The little foam mats that are underneath here catch fire.
With how cold this welds, I don't know.
Uh-oh.
It might not at all.
crank her up.
No. So it's 17.5, even though I doubt it knows how.
So we've got our new little cross member in there.
This is where we start building off of the new stuff. We're gonna put our uprights in, and then we're just gonna cut a little notch out, basically at this body line, how it curves back in right there. So we're gonna cut a little notch, heat her up, and hopefully, ideally, bend her over to match the body line.
Yeah, those are rad and they're long.
Oh yeah.
Little last check here, make sure the door closes, but yeah, that's like perfect location. I like it.
Dude, it's like we've done this before.
Follow like right about there almost.
21?
Yeah.
If we go right at like the window line. Well, the window line's like right there. There we go, now we're talking.
The old one,
Even though the body line kind of splits down here, it basically went up to here before it split. So we're gonna try and kick it at about the window height before we get her to start to dive in to meet that body line.
it's not gonna be perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect, so it's just more so for looks. We can honestly go straight up with this thing and be just fine. So we could just like take this, cut the pieces all the way off at a miter, and then weld them back together, but we're gonna try and cut a little notch out, heat it up. That's why we got the other
Bottle over there of acetylene.
And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and heat that front. We're gonna bend that front over, so that front's gonna be perfectly radiused, allegedly. We'll see. I don't know what the formula is to figure out that exact degree, so we're gonna do it by eye. We're gonna.
What's Dave? Where's Dave when you need him?
This is the perfect Dave job right now. You pop it in the computer and have like the number we need exactly, but we're gonna try and cut out a 1/4 inch here and see if that's enough to get that radius just right. If not, we trim a little bit more, trim a little bit more. Not the prettiest cut in the world there, but we got our notch cut out, so. Zach, get the torch! Probably don't even need the torch. So we quickly realized we don't really need the torch.
Yeah.
No fire today.
I mean, we could have just torched it.
Just for fun?
Well, without cutting it, but.
Zach, we're gonna have to have a talk, buddy.
What?
What have you been doing with this stuff?
It's a good.
Oh, okay. I think we need to go a little bit more, Zach. We ain't far off, though. What do you think, Chris?
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right, all right. Chris signed off on another quarter, Zach. Let's get her square here. We don't want to go anymore because it's got a bubble right here. So I think we run with that. Now we're gonna mimic that little notch out on the other side.
That way, hopefully they're, pretty close to each other. And we were just talking, Chris is like, hey man, what made you decide to do what you're doing? And I don't really know. Me and Zach had talked about putting a basket over and like how that'd be cool, and then
We should build like a tire rack or a little headache rack and do mesh. He's like, oh, and then it turned into, let's just cut everything apart.
And honestly, like, we should be working on the brakes. We should be like doing other stuff to this thing, but I honestly have no clue why we're doing what we're doing. And I really hope it doesn't just end up looking like that and we just put back what we cut out. But we did find out today though that it hits the cab. So it is good that we're getting rid of that little bump out that was in the old little like front of the bed here. And we're just going straight across. So we should eliminate the cab hitting issue of the bed, but we don't really know.
All right, they match.
Oh, look at that.
Good work, buddy.
So now that they're tacked in place, Zach's gonna get those things fully welded up. Then we can get them assembled here, and we start working on our crossbars, and we start working on our basket. We're moving along in the right direction.
All right, so they're all welded up now. You can see kind of why we just did the notch. So that front side is gonna be radius, just like they did over in China here, even though theirs was bent on a roller,
The whole
but
thing is like the bender's $600 and the stand's $200, and then the dies to do that are like $300, or you could just take a slice out of it and do the same thing.
yeah, but it's like it came from the factory that way. All right, both of them are done. They're ground down, they're smoothened out, they look good. We got clearance, so our sides can close here. I think that looks good right there, Zach. Send it, buddy. My eyes are covered. Thank you, Zach. All right, so we're kind of looking at it right now. Visually and mathematically, this works out perfect. Reveal-wise from the windows and everything on the placement of this second upright.
But you'll see there's a little issue here. That is, at the bottom of our bed, our gap is pretty big.
So either we cheat it out a little bit, but then it throws that off, or we leave it. The top we're not worried about because it'll kind of clamp in.
Tack the bar and then we'll cut this difference out of this and then weld it back up. When you cut beds and cabs apart, you're supposed to support them before you cut like the floor so they don't stretch.
Yeah.
So we cut it all out and it stretched. We'll make it right and then we'll just cut that one section out.
Look at that. Protecting the cab. Appreciate it, buddy. Got to protect this pristine paint job on this girl right here.
Cross member is gonna go across here. We thought about doing one at the height of the bed rails right here, and then
Doing another one kind of at where our angle is, but there's no point in getting two that close together. So we're actually going to go from the bottom of our cross member is going to be the top of this rail right here. And I think it's going to look cool and kind of split the difference.
we're gonna go about right yonder. Alright, this should fit. Oh, like a glove, like a glove.
She looks good, buddy. She looks good. So keep in mind, guys, we're working with a tweaked bed.
So the cab is straight, but whenever they like converted this to a dump bed, something's just a little off, and you'll hear it when the dump bed goes up, that it like has to like shift over before it goes up. So trying to make things look as straight as possible, but we can't put them perfectly square, otherwise you're gonna see that something else is out of whack. It's all about cheating the difference. So we're calling a little audible here. We were gonna cut this as close as we could to the top of the cab with our little basket headache rack thingy that's going over the cab, but this thing's got a lot of weird flex and play in it. We don't ever want to run the risk of this thing sagging at some point because of the bed doing weird stuff and all of a sudden it hits the cab. So we've raised up our crossbar here. Zachariah, if I can borrow some hands. All right.
So that leaves us with a little over an inch of clearance there, which means we lose our little horns. So we're just gonna opt to lop it off right there now, and then we'll be able just to weld on little horns on both sides to keep our, our lumber and all the stuff we're gonna be hauling on here from sliding off. But that way we got plenty of clearance here over the cab, and we're not worried about anything ever settling and hitting the cab or anything like that.
All right, we got them cut. Let's clean them up a little bit here.
We're kind of cheated halfway because we're gonna need to make a cap anyway. Chris, do you sign off on this? Is this good?
Not bad, man. Not bad.
Chris says go for it. We're going for
I
it.
got you, Chris. Watch your eyes, buddy. I got you.
Thanks, man.
No problem. Do you want a peek?
Just a little bit.
Okay, a little peek. All right, now we got to figure out where we want the overhead cab part. Again, we're not going to come super far out. We're going to stick to probably about there. I think we'll go in a little further because then we'll put our horns coming up in line with this. They'll be in just a little bit.
Like a half inch or so. Inch. I think we took about an inch.
So we're getting our spacing figured out now, and we'll cut our separate piece. I think we're gonna build the basket on the ground, right? And then we'll try and weld it up in place.
Even though we don't have our expanded metal to go underneath the basket yet, but you know what? Trivial details. We don't gotta worry about that yet.
Zach's gonna get the cage welded up here on the ground, or at least the front half of it. Then we'll hold it in place, weld it up to our headache rack. And just like that, we have 3/4 of a basket.
Working on our placement here. Obviously, like I said, nothing's level on the truck, so
Well, the truck's not bad.
Well, the truck's not level, nothing's level on the truck, the ground's not level.
Remember that when we lift it, we're going to lift it level. So
Okay. My paint on my window. Chris, you're a plumber, dude?
Zach's getting the last little bit welded up there, but I think our little overcab basket thing's gonna be cool. It's less basket than we had originally anticipated, but I think we throw some expanded metal on the bottom of it there. It'll still give us an 1.5 inch lip to keep stuff from falling out. And if we really wanted to, we can actually build up on top of it and make it more basket-y.
Now we're getting our second little crossbar in place.
Totally unnecessary, other than we can use it for more tie-down points, and we might put some little verticals going on in there. I just wanted to make it look a little more populated than a big old gaping hole like that looked like. You can see on the old one that we cut off, had a couple little different things going on there. So we want to make it look, full, I guess is the right word.
Zach, remove the blanket here. Let's see if we line up good with the back window and everything looks all square. It's not crooked, it looks perfect actually. Yeah, we nailed it.
you got both shoes on?
I think so. Just below the back window. I wanted to leave enough room in case we ever need to pop that out, We just talk about how much cooler though it already looks having the overcab part when it's dumping.
I think it looks cool. Back in the day, Papa Rhino used to have, it was a 3500 Chevy with like a contractor's bed on it, and it always had the overcab part, and it was a dump bed, and like we're paying a little homage to that right now with the mini truck here. That's why like I fell in love with that kind of little feature. Totally unnecessary. Everything we're doing today, totally unnecessary, but I feel like most of the stuff we do is kind of in that world.
Perfectly fine.
All right, y'all, well, that is as far as we're getting today. Not bad considering I think we got our material back here around like 2 o'clock, but things definitely starting to take shape. I think once we put in our last little bit of like decorative cross members and stuff there, this thing's actually gonna look really, really cool. We did just measure the bed, which is probably something we should have done earlier. We're 54 inches wide in the back here, and you'd see like our little issue we were working with in the front here. You'd be like, oh, well, you're way wider in the front. We're actually 53 or I don't remember. We're like a 1/2 inch difference, 3/4 inch difference in the front to the rear here. Actually narrower in the front, which is not the right way that we wanted that to happen. So whatever, we'll get in here and tweak it. We already know the bed's like super, super tweaked. You guys can kind of see how like the front up there is nice and level with the cab, but the back's kind of got like a weird droop over here. We ain't gonna sit here and try and rebuild the whole bed and make everything like perfect, because steel prices and wood prices are just way too high right now. But With that, we're gonna wrap up as always. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not subscribed already, please click the subscribe button now that you can see us tear even further apart in this thing and watch Zach build suspension for it. Then we're really gonna see how far out of whack everything is. Don't forget to give this video a like and get a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out workforapparel.com because if there's anything you want in this life, you gotta be willing to work for it. You guys are the best. I'm out.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.